What up? Crack Lemonade again. And I am making this video to talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. And it's just that I've not known
おばあちゃん
how
が言っていた。
to talk
プ
about
レイす
it.
るときは部屋を明るくし、
And that
でき
is
るだけテレビから離れるようにっ
the
てな。
franchise
また、
of Kamen
プ
Rider.
レイするときは健康のため、
And
1
what I
時間
mean
ごとに15分程
by
度の休憩を取る
what
こ
I
とも
mean
大切
by
だ。
I don't know how to
みん
talk
なも
about
守っ
it
てくれるな。
is it's not a show that is easily consumable for people who aren't familiar with it. So when talking about it, I want to, you know, point people in the direction of the franchise. But then I also don't want to do reviews on seasons that aren't available and some that I've forgotten um how it goes exactly. It's better to do reviews of things when it's fresh on your mind, but I also don't want to do a review because hey, I like if you want to check it out, I want to point you in the right direction. Um but a lot has happened over the past few years with Kamen Rider, and it gave me a different reason to talk about the show. And also play Kamen Rider Kabuto for PS2 because, yeah, uh, I really do genuinely love the franchise of Kamen Rider. So, you know, it it's dope that I get to talk about it. It's bittersweet that I'm talking about it this way. And what I mean is, in I would say 2021, um, we finally got some Kamen Rider seasons on Blu-ray. I believe it's 2021 or 2022. We got Kamen Rider 01, we got Kamen Rider Kuga, and we got the original 1970s Kamen Rider that came out on Blu-ray that year. Um, then we got Kamen Rider 01 comic book and a spin-off anime to Kamen Rider W. And all those things are dope, but since then my optimism for Kamen Rider as a franchise has gone down. And not the show
敵に
itself.
囲
The
まれる
show
な。
itself is
各
still
自、グア
amazing.
ムと距離を取って戦
Um,
え。了
and
解。
you should go on Tubi and watch Kamen Rider, the original series, and Kamen Rider Kuga, and Kamen Rider 01, and recently added Kamen Rider Geats. And you should go to Amazon Prime and check out the reboot series Amazon Riders, which is Kamen Rider Amazons, but they changed the name when they brought it over to the US for some reason. I don't know. And Kamen Rider Black Sun. You should also, if it is available, watch Shin Kamen Rider, which is a good movie that I enjoyed watching. But I don't know if that's on the streaming platform right now. I don't remember how I watched it, honestly. I think it was on Hulu. I'm not sure. But I say that, I say all that to say, um, something's just lacking with the Kamen Rider content that has been coming out, and I don't know exactly what it is. Um, or what I mean is the way these shows have been imported into the United States officially um is not giving me a lot of optimism that all of the seasons are going to get brought over to the United States. One is because I think that there is some kind of mishandling of the IP going on, but I don't know exactly like who to point the finger to in terms of you know uh saying this is a failed project. It's just yeah, I don't know. It sucks that like I'm getting stumped on like how to put this exactly. But there are several social media accounts that deal with Kamen Rider, Shout Factory, and their little branch Toku Shoutsu that handles Tokusatsu and subs it. They have been handling the saying DVD, Blu-ray releases, and I don't know. Geats was the last show to come out on Blu-ray. It was priced like at $100, I believe, and then last time I checked, it was on sale for about 80. And I look at that and I say, cool. I'm a Kamen Rider fan. I would spend that money on the Blu-ray to have it. But if I were to go to a friend of mine and be like, hey, you should check out this series that I've been watching since 2012 called Kamen Rider. It's so dope. It's amazing. You should watch it. Where can I go? Where can I go to watch it? You can go watch it on Tubi. I don't really want to do commercials. Uh, you can also buy the Blu-ray. That's $100. Dude, that's a hard sell. That's a hard sell, especially for somebody who's like not already invested in the series like I am. And the same thing kind of goes with the SH Figure Arts releases. Not everybody is going to be spending, 70 to $100+ on these figures for a limited release. And I understand that. I don't think that because I love something, people should, spend an absurd amount of money to support it, to keep it going over here. I think that I think that Kamen Rider being on Tubi is a good thing, but it might be better on another streaming platform. I hate to say that, maybe it would be good on maybe it would be better on Netflix, maybe not. It really depends on how it's promoted. And that is another problem that I have right now with Kamen Rider, because there's Team Rider US or whatever, and I think their whole goal is to, bring Kamen Rider over to the US, but at the same time, based off of their social media, it's just kind of like toy announcements, and I think they cater more to people who go to conventions, which cool, that's great. You should support the fans that are already existing in the ether and have been existing for a while. But at the same time, there should be something there to bring in new people who are not familiar with it. And, maybe not just people who watch Power Rangers, but like people who watch Big Bad Beetleborgs and they want something, you know, they want something to sink their teeth into because that's been a dead franchise for a while. Or, people who watch any of Saban's other tokusatsu shows in the 90s and they just want something else. And at the end of the day, if it's not visible to them, and I mean it's not even that visible on Tubi. Like if you open Tubi right now, Kamen Rider, none of the Kamen Rider seasons or none of the Super Sentai seasons that they have on the platform will be on the first page. So it's not like um there is a gigantic push. I feel like right now with Kamen Rider, those who know about Kamen Rider know about Kamen Rider. And then those who don't know. I and something I do uh is I go on Instagram and I share a lot of like Kamen Rider pictures and my Instagram stories. I follow, I think it's Kamen Rider TV Asahi, the official Kamen Rider for um the TV show TV station in Japan. And I share the previews of the episodes in my Instagram stories. I mean, people just look at it. I don't get any engagement out of it. And it's not my job to get any engagement out of it. But I do it because I love the franchise and like those previews kind of get me hyped. And you know, I just enjoy watching the show. I enjoy watching the characters develop and go through the things that they have to go through in the show and see how they slowly develop throughout season. They grow. And I like that it's one season. You go through this journey with the character, they continue their journey, and then you meet a new Kamen Rider, and you're like, oh man, whole new journey. I love all of that. But at the same time, if people aren't familiar with the franchise, you kind of need to spread awareness. And that's not my position, even though I want it to be. But it's hard when the show is not like available, and you know, especially with a Japanese company, you don't want to mess with them and using footage from the show. And so yeah, this has kind of made me hesitant to talk about Kamen Rider for years because I've been wanting to do this for some time now. And at some point, maybe in the future, I might be able to talk about it. I have a bunch of Kamen Rider games. I do plan on going through those. But specifically, maybe uh I can do some kind of like retrospective on the season um after I get one of the Blu-rays and maybe talk about it that way, but still not using the footage. Uh Maybe using a game that has the character in it, which could prove difficult with newer seasons because the last game they did was Memory Heroes for PS4, and Kamen Rider 01 was the newest Kamen Rider on that game. They have not done console release since Shin Kamen Rider. And yeah, the most recent Kamen Rider that was featured on a game was Kamen Rider 01. Uh yeah. So moving forward, I don't necessarily have a plan for talking about Kamen Rider. I just wanted to rant about my pessimism about the series. All right. Later.